Can you guys stop tagging us in these challenges to do push-ups, bro? No one's trying to do push-ups. No one's trying to do all these exercise challenges, bro.
Even the girls posting the selfies, like. No.
Oh yeah, and stop saying like, oh, let me tag you in my 10 beautiful women or some shit. No one cares, bro.
3 targets are chosen to maximize the effect of the attack: a school, a tube station, and a water treatment plant. Several hundred die within the first few weeks.
That Three Waters has, in fact, been contaminated.
Authorities are attempting to control its deadly spread.
Sent a wave of destruction throughout the underground.
Fueled by the media, fear and panic spread quickly, fracturing and dividing the country until at last the true goal comes.
Welcome to today's video. My name is Angel, and today the stimulus package was delivered. $2 trillion going back into the economy. There's a lot of details. I'll put a link in the description where you guys can read everything about it. Ultimately, the stimulus package, in my opinion, is putting a band-aid in America because we need to do a full country lockdown because we don't actually know how long this is going to take. Is this going to mean that in 3 months we're going to need another loan, another bailout? What's going to happen in the next 3 months if the virus is not contained? And also, people are not going to be wanting to spend the money. So what the government wants is giving the money to the people are going to spend the money. But if some people have money left over, no one's going to try to spend that extra money. There's nothing to do. First of all, we're all scared because we don't know what this is going to look like 3 months from now. So that's just my personal opinion. The sooner we stop the spread, I think that is the best solution. Just stay at home. Please stay at home.
They're going to have to sort of just make things work because we're interested in the workers, the jobs, and we're interested in the companies because that's really what fuels the workers in those great jobs. And we also have $16 billion in funding for the purchase of personal protective equipment.
Trump came out today and said this is the biggest stimulus package in American history. He also said this is the biggest thing that has ever been passed in American history, which I want to say the Patriot Act was probably a bigger deal in my personal opinion. Today I was reading some articles on KSQ, which is the local newspaper here in the Coachella Valley if you're interested. They touched on agriculture in the Coachella Valley, which is, I've never really considered this. The local growers of dates and different vegetables that are here in the Coachella Valley, they're just working non-stop because the demand is so high at different stores. They also made an interesting point about truck drivers, which I never really considered. Like, truck drivers right now are driving to every Walmart, Costco, Sam's Club. Like, they're working on, and right now they're more crucial than ever because people need all the essentials. Besides all the food, we need like the toiletries, the hand sanitizers, all the wipes. They gotta be delivered to all the stores, to all the sections. So shout out to the truck drivers. And it's pretty interesting right now when the economy shuts down, when we're pretty much living in a, I don't even know, I can't even describe the situation we're in, but all the essential people that are still working, grocery store workers, truck drivers, medical staff, all these people that are actually the people that matter, and all the celebrities, all the sports figures that everybody loves and idolizes, and we throw our money at celebrities and all this, and all those people actually don't matter right now. So shout out to all the garbage people out there. What?
Oh, you meant like actual garbage people, the workers.
Like garbage men, but I don't want to say they're only men because there's some garbage women out there.
It's because you say it like that.
What?
Like just garbage people, like you ain't shit people.
I was talking about garbage men, but I wanted to say garbage people. Damn, girl. Today, the National Guard arrived here locally at the Riverside County Fairgrounds. They set up 125 beds emergency hospital right here in the Coachella Valley. And in the Riverside County, there's 107 cases, and all 7 deaths are here in the Coachella Valley. Like I said before in another video, right here in the Coachella Valley, we're compromised because we have a lot of retirement communities. There's a lot of older people that are in the high risk demographics. So let's hope that we're able to contain this, and let's hope like 2 weeks from now we're not overwhelmed like they are in New York and Italy, Spain, and France. That is true. Yeah, a lot of immigrants don't even go to the doctor, and Mexicans don't, even if they have insurance, they don't like to go to the doctor. So it's not just immigrants. Yeah, it's gonna hit everybody, and especially, I don't know, hopefully not. Hopefully we're able to slow this down. And what they're saying about the curve and why we're shutting down, I don't know if you, I mean, I'm pretty sure you've heard this before, maybe from me, is why we're shutting down is not because it's going to be 100% safe. Like, we still might get infected like 6 months from now, whatever. But if we slow down the curve and the rate of people getting infected and the rate of people that need to go to the hospitals will not get overwhelmed. And when the hospitals have enough resources, they're able to cure us all. They're able to take care of the really sick people. There's reports out of New York today that people are dying because there's not enough ventilators. And we saw this report from Italy last week. The World Health Organization is saying that we're a week behind Italy. So next week we could start seeing those Italy numbers, which are scary, coming out. 600 deaths in a day, 700 days in a day. Today, Spain 650 people died in Spain. About 143 people died in France. 143 people died in Iran. Today in the U.S., we have 65,797 total infected with 935 deaths. We're almost at 1,000 deaths here in the U.S. By tomorrow, you're going to start seeing headlines of, oh, we reached over 1,000 deaths, and now people are going to start freaking out. The numbers are scary in New York and Southern Europe. Hopefully, we're able to produce more stuff. Trump kept talking about Ford Company and General Motors, and other companies have already started making ventilators. Other companies started making masks and everything for the medical staff to treat people. The National Guard is deploying. Like they said, they arrive in Riverside. They're probably arriving all over the place. New York, they're setting up pop-up hospitals. So hopefully we start turning this thing around, slowing down the curve. And it's interesting because other parts of the country are not even shut down, but I think we just need to do a nationwide shutdown. Yes, it's going to hurt the economy, but I feel like if we could save people's lives, it's ultimately worth it. Parts of Texas are still, I mean, like the whole, actually almost everywhere is still open except Washington, New York, California. That's as far as I know, DC. There is an eerie feeling. Are you guys, if you guys are in a lockdown, how do you guys feel about this? Like, I feel like people, we kind of just got used to it. Like last week, I was freaked out the whole week. Like I was just like reading new reports and like hearing the local government this and the state government, the federal government. It was kind of like we didn't know what the hell happened. Now an entire week has gone by. We're kind of adjusting to a life under quarantine. So now I still weird. It still doesn't feel like we should go outside. Like every time I go outside now, I'm like scared. I'm like, oh, I'm trying not to touch anything. I'm washing my hands constantly. I don't know. It's just weird, but I also feel like I'm getting used to this routine. I mean, it's not a good thing to get used to, but how are you guys dealing with the whole quarantine and everything? Let me know how you guys dealing with it. What do you guys do to have fun? What do you guys do? Like right now, I'm making videos. 3 hours of my day I make a video, but I don't do shit for the other 7, or I don't even know how many hours I'm awake. See, I'm already delirious. Today in some music news, in 1992, Dr. Dre dropped The Chronic, one of the most iconic albums of all time. You know the Chronic, like Dr. Dre's one of the greatest producers of all time, if not the greatest hip-hop producer of all time. His album, The Chronic, was actually archived at the Library of Congress, which is a pretty shout out to Dr. Dre for making it to the Library of Congress. They're going to be jamming in there, the founding fathers listening to The Chronic. That shit's going to be fire for them. Now I'm going to start recommending some shows and some movies that you guys should watch since we're in the quarantine. Vice just released a documentary called The Dark Side of the Ring, and the first 2 episodes are out detailing Chris Benoit's murder, suicide, homicide. Chris Benoit was like one of the most popular wrestlers in the mid-2000s, and this documentary definitely dives deep into some sides that you never think about professional wrestling, because if you look at professional wrestling, they always sugarcoat it and they make it seem like these guys are invincible. But if you've listened to previous interviews by like Jake the Snake Roberts and talking about like every time he had to go to a new venue, or like he was getting new snakes every like 2 months because his snake kept dying. If you know Jake the Snake Roberts, he always came on stage or to the wrestling ring with a snake. He had to get new snakes. He got bitten by snakes. He didn't have enough to pay for some certain surgeries. Like there's a lot of dark side of the ring, no pun intended there, but you should definitely check out this documentary. Even if you're not a wrestling fan, it's just an interesting documentary. This Is Us on Hulu season 5 is about to come out, so you guys could catch up on This Is Us. It's a very fantastic show. If you're one of those people that's claiming the end of the world or a zombie apocalypse, The Walking Dead is happening still. Like people still watch The Walking Dead. I stopped watching The Walking Dead like 6 seasons ago. Everybody I know doesn't watch The Walking Dead. Do you still watch The Walking Dead? Please tell me no, because why? So yeah, Walking Dead is on its 10th season. Let me know if you guys are interested in watching that. And some other shows that I recommend you guys watching: Westworld on HBO. We have Homeland, it's in final season. Better Call Saul, Curb Your Enthusiasm, Narcos, Star Wars The Clone Wars, and The Mandalorian. You could stream those on Disney Plus. And also, if you haven't caught up to some of the classics, this is the perfect time, because people always make the excuse that they don't have enough time. And if you want to watch some of the greatest television in television history or streaming history, definitely check out The Wire on HBO. Breaking Bad, you better see Breaking Bad, like one of the greatest shows. The Good Place, The Good Place on NBC. I think they have it on Hulu, maybe on Netflix too. One of my favorite shows. It just ended like a couple months ago. And I was gonna say Game of Thrones, but I don't know if you should invest all your time on Game of Thrones. I mean, the first like 6 seasons, the cinematography, the story arc, like the dialogue is one of the greatest shows of all time. But once you get to the last 2 seasons, they really dropped the ball on that one. But if you just want to see some great show, I mean, watch season 1 through 3. I definitely recommend it. Now, some movies I recommend for you guys: The Irishman, which was nominated for an Oscar. Definitely watch it on Netflix. It's a long movie. It's like 4 hours. You got 4 hours to kill. I mean, you got nothing going on tomorrow, so watch The Irishman. El Camino, which stars Jesse Pinkman, Aaron Paul from Breaking Bad. So it's like a sequel to Breaking Bad. So once you finish binging Breaking Bad, you can watch Netflix El Camino, which is the follow-up, the post, and Better Call Saul, the preview to Game. But there's a lot of Breaking Bad in this list, actually. So Breaking Bad, definitely watch it. Other movies I recommend you guys watching that's more relevant to what we're going on. Contagion, definitely a movie about a viral infection. You guys, there's a scene from V for Vendetta. You guys gotta watch V for Vendetta because I feel like this is so relevant. Not the entire plot, but the part about the pandemic that happens in that movie that kind of ruined and changed the future forever. Definitely watch V for Vendetta.
Justify the means, and it is he who suggests that their target should not be an enemy of the country, but rather the country itself. 3 targets are chosen to maximize the effect of the attack: a school, a tube station, and a water treatment plant. Several hundred die within the first few weeks.
That Three Waters has in fact been contaminated.
Authorities are attempting to control its deadly spread.
Sent a wave of destruction throughout the underground.
Fueled by the media, fear and panic spread quickly, fracturing and dividing the country until at last the true goal comes into view. Before the St. Mary's crisis, no one would have predicted the results of the election that year, no one. And then not long after the election, lo and behold, a miracle. Some believed it was the work of God himself, but it was a pharmaceutical company controlled by certain party members that made them all obscenely rich. A year later, several extremists are tried, found guilty and executed, while a memorial is built to canonize their victims. But the end result, the true genius of the plan, was the fear. Fear became the ultimate tool of this government, and through it, our politician was ultimately appointed to the newly created position of High Chancellor.
One of the most iconic movies, one of my favorite movies of all time, and there's some scary stuff in there that's relevant to what's going on today. And finally, the LA Chargers revealed their new logo, their new colors. It's pretty similar and actually looks pretty fire. And of course, the social media team is the best social media team in the NFL and probably in sports in general.
Charger football is exciting football. Well, you haven't seen anything yet.
What's happening, Chargers fans? If you guys want to see some more, click right here. Check it out. It's pretty simple. Right here.
So I thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and stay tuned for another episode tomorrow. Let me know your thoughts in the comments as always, and you guys follow me on Instagram at Warmeful. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.